What's up guys, it's Jen and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be playing with the Brave Spirit palette by Makeup Revolution. This I received as a free gift with my Ulta purchase. I'm finally getting around to playing with it today, so I am super excited to go ahead and crack into this little bad boy and give it a go. The only problem is it doesn't open very easily. There it went. That's great. Now it's working with me. So these are the colors that are in the Brave Spirit palette. When I first got this, I thought, many are the possibilities. Now that I've had a little time to look at it, swatch it, think on it, I feel like, I'm going to be honest here, here's the pretty blue shade. I'm just going to swatch a couple of them so you guys can see. And this is the shimmery green shade right there, and I'm just doing little light swatches. They can come up a lot more pigmented than that. I did that in my original video, so you guys, if you want to check that out, please feel free to do so. It would be great. When I first got this, I thought that I could do some looks with it, that it was actually a standalone palette, but the longer I've had it, I really don't feel that way. I don't see this as a standalone palette anymore. Because the colors in here, they don't really play together. I've got 6 shimmers and then you get 3 mattes. They're not exactly made to go together in my opinion. So what I've done is I grabbed a couple of other palettes to go ahead and help this Brave Spirit palette out. So I'm going to be playing with my Sweet Talk palette. I'm also going to be playing with my Friendcation palette to go ahead and create a look with this, because this palette needs a buddy. This palette needs a dance partner, or else it's going to be on its own. And although I'm glad that I got this palette for free, if I were to see this as I was shopping, I absolutely wouldn't buy it. It's just not my jam. It's not my strawberry jam. It's more like marmalade, and I don't like marmalade. So, not to say that I don't like this palette, because I've yet to even really use it, but when I look at the color story in this palette, it's just not something that I would normally gravitate toward. But that being said, I'm still excited to have it, and I still want to try it. I did the Flawless Fire palette from Revolution. I thought it was fantastic. It's actually a really decent eyeshadow palette, so I'm going to assume that this is going to have the same pigmentation and work as easily and as well as that eyeshadow palette did. If I'm wrong, we're going to find out together. It could turn out terrible, and that would be funny. I would laugh. So we're going to go ahead and give this a shot. I'm going to use the colors in this palette that I would normally gravitate toward. This purple one, this pinky purple one. I like this blue as a topper, and I like this green as a topper. This brown one is nice, but we'll see. I'm going to try and incorporate this one in there. These shades here, maybe this one for an inner corner. This particular one doesn't really speak to me, and this gray kind of silvery eyeshadow is not giving me any kind of exciting feeling at all, unfortunately. I don't know. We're gonna find out how this goes, but basically I'm gonna use the shadows in here that I would use, that I have, experienced in other palettes, because these particular colors are much more appealing to me. So that's what I'm gonna go for today. What I'm gonna do is a different look on each eye so I can utilize as many shadows in this palette as possible, and you guys can see, what happens, and hopefully it'll be something good. So I already have my base on, thank God, because if I didn't, I would look terrifying. I still kind of look a little terrifying. Don't be scared, we're all friends here. So what I wanna do, because I don't feel that the pinky purple in here is a transition, I'm going to go into my Sweet Talk palette, and I'm just going to grab a lighter shade that I could use as a transition just to get the ball rolling, because yeah, this palette definitely needs a friend. It can't hang out by itself. It's not, it's just not that kind of palette to me. Okay, so now I'm going to dip into that kind of pinky purpley shade, and we're going to put that on the outer. Yeah, see, those play well together. That's nice. But see, I wouldn't put this with like the brown. I don't know. That's actually a really pretty shade. I don't mind that at all. It's powdery, and it does have kind of like a dry kind of feeling to it. I mean, powder, I guess it would be, but some eyeshadows have like a smooth kind of feel to them. And this one, that particular shade doesn't. It has more of a dry kind of powdery feeling to it. It's not the most comfortable shadow I've used, but it was free, People agree. I'm like, she is complaining about a free eyeshadow palette. What the hell is the matter with her? I don't know. I'm just being honest, basically. So now I'm going to go into the purple shade and I'm going to deepen the outer corner of my eye and push that into the crease. That isn't as pigmented as I thought it was going to be, so let me try that again. Okay, so this requires a little bit of building, but it's still a very pretty shade. It's just, you know, it's not super pigmented. You guys can see we got a little bit of purple showing up there, and it's pretty. And again, it's that same kind of dry formula. God, maybe they couldn't sell it, so they're just giving it away. I mean, that's entirely possible. I'm not saying it's terrible, though. I mean, the jury's still out. It's okay. But I don't think it's one of my favorites. I'm just going to blend this up a little bit higher. You know, it's on my eyelid. You know, we got that going for us. Let's pick up some of this blue here and see if I can pat that on my lid. Let's see if that goes well together. Oh wow, that's different. Yeah, you know. Yeah, without even a wet brush, this is kind of nice. Now these shimmers in here are actually very creamy and very soft, so it's a different formula that they're using for their shimmers. I enjoy the formula they're using for their shimmers a lot more than the mattes in this particular palette. And it's funny because the other one, the mattes were actually really nice, but this one, the shimmers are just, they're just much more comfortable and just a lot smoother than the mattes. Let's put some more of that purple there. It's interesting. I'll give you that. It's certainly interesting. So maybe throw it out. No. Yes. Actually. You know what? I am going to tap into that silver I may as well. Even though it's a shade I wouldn't normally gravitate toward, I'm going to pop that in the inner corner and see if I like it. Oh, that's Fallout. I can feel that. Awesome. And if I don't, I'll just get rid of it. You know, if I look like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz, then I'll just make it go away by covering it with something else. It's not terrible, but it's terrible. You know, it's let me put the gold on top. Let me see if I want just something a little bit brighter. I don't know. Maybe if I mesh them together, it'll look better. Just trying to brighten it up a little bit more. Okay, so this is where we're at on this eye, and now I want to take a break from this and I want to go ahead and try something on the other eye with the Friendcation palette. So I'm going to go ahead and do a transition over here. And I'm not like the biggest cool tone gal. I actually really prefer warm tones, but this is what we're working with today. And this Friendcation palette, even though I almost never use it, I actually really like it. I think these eyeshadows perform really well, but it's not a video about the Friendcation palette, so I'm just gonna grab a couple of shades from here so I can have a more cohesive look. Yeah, that shimmery shade is kind of found its way into my eyeball, so that doth sucketh. Okay, I'm going to pick up the brown that's in this palette and I'm going to place that on the outer portion of my eye and just kind of into the crease too, just to deepen it up a little bit. So, you know, we're using the shades, making it happen. I like this side better, so okay. So I got that going for me. I want to try this green that's in the palette. Again, I don't know anything from names on here. I don't see any names, but we're going to try the green and pat that on the lid and see how we like it. So let's break into the green and pat that on there. So the green is a lot lighter. I may have to wet my brush, which is all right. It's not the first time I've had to do that for shimmers to show up in other palettes. No, it's coming out. It's just you got to build it up a little bit. It's not that instant you apply it and it's just there. You gotta make a little more effort for it, and that's okay. I actually think I like the green better than the blue. That's not bad at all. But I might just ruin it with this color right here, this orange shade, because I want to try as many of the shadows in here that I possibly can. And this is pretty much going to bring us to basically dipping into all of them. This orangey kind of, what does that make me think of? Like a sorbet kind of orange color. And I might pop that on the inner portion of the green there. Maybe terrible, might be a horrible mistake, but I feel like I'm going to do it anyway just because we're here. We're trying the palette. Let's just try it out. Not a shade I would normally go for, but you know, soap and water. I can always wash it off, and that way we can see what it looks like, and you guys can get a real idea of what you're going to be working with if you happen to get this. If you're shopping on Ulta and they offer you this as a free gift, you're going to know what's coming in the mail. And if you do get it, tag me, because I would like to know what looks you come up with. Wow, that's interesting. It's, you know what it you know what it is? It's ugly. And no. You know what it is? To be honest, it's not as, when I go for a shimmer, like the blue and the green, they pop, and they just, yeah, I'm even looking in the viewfinder, and it's just more like a satin finish. How would I describe this? Because it's not exactly a shimmer. It's, I mean, it has some luminosity to it. It has some shimmer, but it doesn't have the same kind of pop as the green and the blue. So I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush and see if I can make that, I don't know, show up a little more. Maybe it can, maybe it can't. I'm not sure, but we're going to give it a try. Maybe it'll give it like a foiled look. I don't know. Well, I can definitely see it, but I'm not sure I like it. I don't mean to sound like I don't appreciate it. I don't want it to come off that way. I do appreciate that Ulta sent me a free gift. I think that's really freaking cool on their part. I don't know. Now that I've had time to like look at it, and now that I'm actually playing with it, I don't like it. This is not my best look. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. And I have basically, well, no, not basically, I've utilized every color that is in this eyeshadow palette. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hop off camera. I'm going to do my lashes and my liner, and I'm going to hop back on, and we're going to chat about this eyeshadow palette. And it's going to be great. And we're back. And lashes and liner are now on, which I'm really glad about, because a lot of times a nice pair of lashes and some eyeliner will really help the situation. Now, I'm not going to say that this is my favorite eyeshadow look. Absolutely is not. 100% is not. I am glad that they sent a free gift. I think it's wonderful that they did this. I think that there are some shades in here that are actually very pretty. It's not a bad palette at all. It's actually nice. It's got some shades in there that I would use, just not how I use them today. I'm glad that I got to utilize every eyeshadow in the palette so you guys could see what it looks like. Am I thrilled with my eyeshadow look? No, I think it could have gone a lot better. The formula in this palette, not my favorite. The other Revolution palette is actually a lot better than this one, which maybe explains why they're giving it away. You know, that could be something. I need to put on some lipstick. I forgot. So let's throw on some lipstick real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. It didn't cost me anything, you know, and I'm talking a while about it, but facts are the facts. Regardless whether I got it free or not, it is not a palette that I think that I would reach for on a regular basis. Certainly not one of my favorites. I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy it, because if I did, I would be really disappointed right now. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great. I mean, you know, if I'm being honest, it's not my favorite. What are you gonna do? It's not a total loss, and I am glad that I have it. And it was fun to play with, you know, for the most part. Sorta. Kinda. I'm a terrible liar. It was okay. It's just an okay palette, and I'm glad that it didn't cost me anything. So this is the finished, disastrous look that I came up with because, you know, sometimes you gotta have a bad makeup look, and this is just one of those times. So I'm accepting it, and I'm getting ready to wash it off. So you guys, that is it for today's video. I want to thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope y'all are having a beautiful day. Thanks. Bye. That just looks really disheveled, like I just fucking rolled out of bed. Like, I didn't even try. What the hell am I doing? Bap, bap, bap. The palette beat me up. Call 911. Focus on me, maybe? Hello? Why is it doing that? I'm like, what's wrong? Is she sick? I'm not. I mean, you know. Physically. How about now? How about now? Hey, maybe? Oh, come on. It's so ugly. It's probably one of the worst eyeshadow looks I've done in a long time. Actually, no. I don't think it is. But, you know, it's up there. It's up there. It is up there.